Hello, my soapy friends, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Lissa, also known as the Soap Chef on this channel, where we make all things with a rather good lather. I've been a maker in this industry for over 2 decades. We are a 3D bath bomb mold supplier, and my favorite products to make, of course, are bath bombs. But that's enough about me. Let's get right into the video. Here we are again, back over at Creation Station with the last formula that we are going to be putting into our face care series of formulations that I've been giving you guys for the past couple of months. Okay, I have everything all weighed out here. I'm going to put it all into this glass bowl. We're going to put this into a water bath and melt everything down. First up is virgin coconut oil. Next up is lanolin. Now, in making this formula, you guys, please be sure to let your customers know that you are using animal products, in specific the lanolin. A lot of people are allergic to lanolin. The next ingredient up is going to be emu oil. Again, let your people know that this is an animal product. A lot of people are allergic to these type of things. I personally, thank goodness, have never had that issue. I tell everybody when they buy my lip balms, I ask them rather, are you allergic to lanolin and or emu oil? Most people have never even heard of emu oil, but it's fantastic. The reason why I select these ingredients is because they are extremely nourishing, hydrating, moisturizing, and healing. Okay, so we've got the virgin coconut, lanolin, emu oil. Next up is going to be cocoa butter. Next up we have beeswax. You can let your people know that too, because that is an animal product. Next up is going to be our candelilla wax. For those of you that do not want to use animal products, this is a good substitution for beeswax. Next up, we are going to put in beautiful castor oil. This is the same recipe that I've been making for decades. I have not changed it at all. It's so creamy with a really nice slip. I sell a lot of lip balms, a lot. It's almost kind of akin to how many bath bombs I sell. I would have to say, out of all the products that I make, bath bombs and lip balms are my 2 top selling products. Okay, next up after that, we have sweet almond oil. And lastly, we are going to put the vitamin E in here. We're going to leave this last ingredient for after everything is all melted down. So this is our vitamin E. And by the way, just like the title says, I am master batching this. So I make one big load at the beginning of the year, and then midway through the season, I will make another big load, and then that sometimes carries me through to the end, sometimes not, depends. Okay, everything is in here now. We're going to go ahead and put this over in a water bath, and I will bring you back for the next step. Okay, we are back, and everything is melted down nicely. We're going to give it just a little stir. Sometimes that candelilla wax, you think it's all good to go, and then you might see 1 or 2 little flakes floating that didn't get melted. So we're just going to stir just for a couple of seconds and make sure we don't see any of those little floaters anywhere. take the temp. We're at 165. So we're just going to stir this just for a little bit before we add our last ingredient, which is going to be olive squalane. Also nourishing, hydrating, moisturizing, and extremely healing. That's why I have put all of these ingredients together the way that I have. I don't know about you all, but especially in the winter, I mean, I keep chapstick with me constantly. Not chapstick, your lip balms that we make. But in the wintertime, boy, my lips, holy moly, it's bad. So I don't need to just moisturize my lips. I need them to heal. So I'll speed this up until we get to a temperature where I feel comfortable adding that squalane. You might be wondering what's in this vessel over here. This is going to be my pouring pot. I have a glass bottle just to use for weight. Yes, it's been sanitized, as well as this has been sanitized. Everything has been sanitized. You guys, I don't need to keep reminding you. You guys all know good manufacturing practices, right? So I just use this for the weight to keep my pouring vessel down inside some hot water. I want that pouring vessel to be hot so that when I put my hot liquid into there, it doesn't start solidifying right away like it would if it was just cold. All right, so let's speed up this video and I'll be back with you in a moment. Okay, you guys, we're at a comfortable temperature now. We're going to go ahead and add our olive squalane to the mix. You will see that starting to solidify a little bit on the bottom because this was cold and my mixture was hot. But it's going to stir in and dissolve pretty readily. By the way, with lanolin, it can have an off-putting smell to most people. Comes from sheep's wool. But when you add your flavor oil, it actually does have a little bit of a scent to it as well as the flavor. And so it masks it in my personal experience. I don't ever smell the lanolin in the finished product. Okay, we are good to go. So the last thing that we're going to do is add in our last ingredient for the master batch, and that is going to be our monk fruit. That is how I choose to sweeten my lip balms. All right, so monk fruit is going to go into the main batch. And then when I'm ready to go ahead and start doing all of these, I will just portion off however much it is I need per batch, and I will flavor that portion. All right, monk fruit. Alrighty. Monk fruit into the pool. Pro tip, you guys, for pouring your lip balms and trying to avoid getting that well is don't pour when you're really, really hot. You know, when the liquid is very, very hot. It's a fine line and quite the little juggling act that you have to do to let it cool down to a certain temperature to try to avoid those wells. But then if you let it cool down too much, as you can see, things are starting to solidify. Because that candelilla wax and beeswax are going to want to go back to solid relatively quickly. That's their natural state. They're going to want to go back there, which is good in the finished product, but not good when we're trying to make it. All right, let's stir a little bit more vigorously. Still a couple little chunks in there that need to get dissolved. Of course, if you don't want to wait for your liquid to cool down and play that little juggling act, you can go ahead and pour it while it's very fluid and a little bit on the warmer side. And then you are going to get those wells. I do sometimes. So then just give it a little blast with your heat gun. Make that all even. And if you need to pour a little bit more on the top to level that off, then you can do that too. I'm going to be testing out this lip balm tray that Mr. Soap Chef just printed for me. Today's going to be the test run on that. Otherwise, I have all the silicone ones. You can get them at Brambleberry or Wholesale Supplies Plus. I'm sure most of you have those. All right, we're good. Everything is melted down in there nicely. All right, let's get this out and get moving. I'm going to portion off however much I need for the first batch. Then I will sweeten it. I do not color my lip balms. I leave them natural. Today I'm going to be doing on camera anyways, I'm going to be doing strawberry. All right, let's get this in here. Perfect. All right, now to this, like I said, I'm going to be doing strawberry. And let's see. All right. Now, some of these will color your lip balm. Like the cherry, the strawberry, that will add its own color to it, so you don't even really need to use a color. All right, let's put this on here just to try to retain some of the heat. I don't want to put it on the cold metal table. All right, let's get that flavor oil in here and combined really well. So this one, as far as the strawberry is concerned, just ever so slightly a little pink tinge. You really want to give this a good mix though. I keep my flavor oils in the refrigerator here in the facility. And so again, we've got a really hot liquid and I just put something that's really cold in there. So if you don't spend the time, 2 minutes is my rule. If you don't spend the time to mix this in well, you're going to get blotches and spotting. You may even get some of the flavor oil pooling up inside of the tube. Ask me how I know. All right, scrape your sides as you're going. And I'm telling you, it really does help if your vessel is warm to try to keep everything fluid. And then once we're done, let's get some stuff out of the way so I have room. Once we're done mixing all of that, we're just going to go ahead and try to get that into the tubes relatively quickly. Still have some mixing to go. Yep, it's getting real solid now on the sides, so we got to get going here. A little bit more mixing to make sure that I get all of that flavor oil incorporated well. Boy, it smells so good. I'm telling you, the flavor oils do impart a scent. They do. And so that's why I said, don't worry about the lanolin coming through. It won't. All right, this is as far as I want to push it as far as stirring around. Okay, let's get this poured. If you run into a situation, you guys, like I literally just did, where everything is solidifying too much on you, go ahead and get what you can back into your pouring pitcher. Reheat it gently in a water bath, and then come back. Which is exactly what I'm going to do, okay? So give me a moment and I'll be right back. Okay, I melted down the rest of our base and then poured it and scraped it off. So we're ready to go. Let's just pull one out of here. Okay, I always like to just take a paper towel and just give a little bit of a swipe up, just in case there was any residual wax that flowed over. Let's go ahead. This is going to be for me because I'm in need. Let's get a cap. There you go. Oh man, this is so nice, you guys. Oh, nice. Let's get that back down in there. Soft like a baby's beep. Okay, and that is going to wrap it up, you guys, for our skincare formulations that I have given to you guys. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. I wanted to address a quick question that I got on my Patreon from one of my members, Lorraine. I had to look and make sure I had the name right. She wanted to learn, because I always put up there, you know, what do you guys want to learn about, you know, next or more? What would you like to see? Because the Patreon is driven by you guys. And so she was saying she wanted to learn more about AHAs and BHAs, which are your alpha hydroxy acids and your beta hydroxy acids. And the reason why, and I told her I'm not an expert in that field, and I'm not. And so the reason why I won't be talking about those type of things or doing any formulations with those type of ingredients is because it's beyond my scope of education and experience. Now, the ingredients that I have worked with on the channel here within my facial products were the hyaluronic acid, the niacinamide, and the allantoin. So the hyaluronic acid is actually used as a humectant. The niacinamide is used to like reduce fine lines and wrinkles. And allantoin is found naturally in our bodies, but the synthetic version that is made in a laboratory, that's used for a moisturizing and soothing agent, okay? So if you want to get into some of the acids like glycolic acid, lactic acid, ascorbic acid, salicylic acid, vitamin A, retinoids, things of that nature, do your own research and development on that. That is what I have done with the 3 ingredients that I just mentioned to you, that I have used in all of these face care formulations that I just gave to you guys. I'm comfortable with those. I've been working with those for, I think since 2004 is when I first started formulating. And of course, I've improved upon all of those throughout the years, and I've given you guys the recipes in the member section here as well as on my Patreon. So what I usually do is I refer you to people that are way more experienced and educated in those fields than I am. I am not. I will never work with those type of acids. I'm just not experienced with them. I'm not educated enough on them. The FDA has extremely strict regulations when you are using AHAs and BHAs in cosmetics. Not to mention, they are a preservative nightmare. So I personally will not be going into any of that. I don't feel comfortable doing that. Someone that I could refer you to get more information and to start your research and development would be Marie from Humblebee and Me. She is experienced in using all of those type of ingredients. So I hope that helps to answer your question, Lorraine. It's not that I'm avoiding it. I have not worked with those ingredients, the AHAs and the BHAs, and I will not for the reasons that I just told you guys. Okay. that is going to wrap it up again, like I said, for the series that we just did on our face care. We're going to move on now to something else. Not really sure what I want. You guys have been throwing a lot of good suggestions my way, so we'll see what's next. Hair care is definitely in the works. I have just finished formulating my foaming soap tablets, and it produced a really lovely, clear formula. I've been testing that for well over a month now. It's stable. It produces a really great foam, so that's definitely coming. My sugar scrub recipe is definitely coming with the consistency like Tree Hut. Really, really nice there. Okay, that's going to do it for today, you guys. So until we meet again, be kind and stay humble, okay? Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you soon.